How Deion Sanders handles the Q&A portion of his speech to his Colorado team was brilliant, and I'm going to break down exactly why. And how you handle the Q&A portion of your speech is arguably the most overlooked yet most important part to prepare for. Before we begin, watch part 1 of my breakdown of Deion's speech right here.
I'm here on the spot for any questions. Yeah, quarterback is coming. Yep, about 10 more of them coming. And they dogs. And they gonna hunt and they gonna eat. Anything else? This is your opportunity. Don't get outside and start talking when you got me right in front of you. Yes, sir.
Now there are 2 nuggets here. The first is to carve out time for your Q&A and encourage people to ask questions. Too many people just neglect to even go through the Q&A, but when you're that open, you're building credibility with your audience because you're showing you have nothing to hide. Now, it will feel awkward standing in silence waiting for your audience to ask you a question. Just understand that your audience is silent not because they didn't pay attention to you, but rather because they're too afraid to break the ice and speak in front of an entire audience themselves. So keep encouraging them until someone does speak up because your audience will thank you for that. The second tip is to be prepared to answer your audience's burning questions. For example, Deion knows that his players are likely nervous that the transfers from Jackson State he's bringing in are going to take their jobs. So what does he do? He preempts the question up front.
What position coaches are you keeping?
What position coaches am I keeping? Probably not.
Bringing.
Right?
The third key is to paraphrase or restate your audience's question. Now, frankly, Deion doesn't do this enough throughout his Q&A, but doing so has 3 major benefits. The first is that it helps your entire audience hear the question so everyone's on the same page. The second is that it focuses you on actually answering the question directly, which is crucial. And finally, it gives you enough time to think through your response in case you're just not sure and you have to think on your feet.
It's gonna be one of the best staffs you ever seen in summer. They coming. Best recruiting staff you ever seen in summer. They coming. A bunch of go-getters coming. I just met with several to 10 powerful boosters that's ready to give. But I told them I want these kids focused on the NFL, not the NIL. But guess what they told me? They coming. Good question. Let's start it off. Some more.
I want you to notice how Deion reframes rather than restates his core message. Now in part 1, his core point was, I'm coming, which is to signal the winning culture that he wants to bring to the University of Colorado. Now what he does here is he says, they're coming, which signals the boosters, the trainers, the staff that are coming to Colorado because they buy into his vision. When you reframe your point, you're actually elevating your speech more so than when you restate it.
Yes, sir.
What are the major changes you see we need to do going forward?
Everything. Everything.
The 5th takeaway is to answer the audience's question directly and succinctly. What changes do you see come into the program? Everything. Everything. Now it sounds obvious, but you must answer the question directly. If you don't, it'll look like you're dodging the question, which will make you look very unsure of yourself.
Everything. The way you think about the game, the way you study the game. You know what our kids do? And I hate to keep resorting back because I got one more till I'm finished. But what coaches, this is our defensive back coach right now, Kevin Matthews, stand up, Kevin.
Invite an ally of yours to answer a question from the audience. This has 3 benefits. The first is that it switches things up enough such that the audience will stay engaged. Watch as the entire team turns their heads towards defensive backs coach Kevin Mathis. The second is that it also helps you command the ultimate respect from the room when you can bring an ally to back up your core point and furthermore add context that you didn't even think of.
They putting in time, but really not putting in time. I convince their teammates they putting in time, but really not putting in no time. So that's what the huddle times, the time to watch film, I give it to him every Thursday. He go through every last one of them to see who's actually putting in that time. Who really want to be for the team. And that's how that's how you come up with what, if you want to start or not. To be a starter, if you're not putting in the right time, you're not starting this week.
I'm going to invest in you and you invest in yourself. I mean, you don't believe in you. How am I going to believe in you and you don't believe in you? You ain't putting in no huddle time to watch your opponent that's getting ready to try to do you in front of a national audience. So if you ain't putting in the time, why would I put in the time? Good question.
The third benefit from inviting an ally is key. When you listen closely to your ally, you can build off of their point to strengthen your message. Coach Prime leverages a core detail that Coach Mathis brings up around the huddle time to prepare in order to deliver one of the most powerful lines of his speech. How am I going to invest in you if you aren't going to invest in yourself? Now, you want to make sure that you bring an ally that's actually going to back you up, so it helps to prepare your ally to speak in advance.
Yes, sir.
What's our offseason gonna look like?
It's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work. Our summer, we have a couple breaks in the summer. The off season. How should I say this? We're gonna try to make it quick. Those of you that we don't run on, we're gonna try to make it quick. That's what all season gonna look like. I want the ones that don't want to quit. They want to be here. They want to work. They want to win. They want to be appreciative of every darn thing they're getting here. That's what it's gonna look like. Heck of a lot of work. I gotta get you to the breaking point so I know what I got. I don't want to get in the game and then find out I got Jane when all offseason I had Tarzan. I gotta figure that one out. And I'm gonna get you there. Great question.
Now, sometimes you're going to get questions that you're not prepared to answer, like what does the off season look like? You haven't thought through those details yet. So what Coach Prime does is he actually buys himself some time by pausing and asking the rhetorical question, how should I put this? You can also paraphrase the question to collect your thoughts. Just always answer the question with what you do know.
Yes, sir.
What's your plans for like the injured guys?
Get treatment. If you're salvageable. If you're on the list that they told me you worked during, it's a wrap. We're gonna hug and kiss and say goodbye. Anything else?
Get treatment if you're salvageable.
Yes, sir.
Are we keeping the same strength staff or?
Probably not. Haven't made that distinctive decision yet, totally. There's probably a couple of decisions I hadn't made as of yet. We just got finished kicking butt last night. I got to have a day. Great question, though.
When you get a specific question that you just can't answer, acknowledge what you don't know up front. This builds trust with your audience by showing that you're honest. What you shouldn't do is just ramble trying to arrive at an answer because people will see right through that.
Coach Hart, linebacker coach. How long we been together, Hart?
16 years, 17 years.
Coach Kelly, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, Coach
No,
Brian?
You made me smile.
How you doing?
Love you, man. This is part of the staff as well.
Show your authority. Don't tell it. When you can openly engage the audience and cede the floor to others, you're showing that you have the ultimate command of the room. Instead of introducing the staff and just reading off their bios, he's asking them questions to let them speak for his credibility.
Son Bucky, all the stuff you see us post, he's the man. He's been a one-man machine. Now he gets some help. It's gonna be unbelievable. You think we did how you do social media? We know how to do social media. We're gonna bungee jump and follow what y'all got. Matter of fact, just tell them, what's the best way for them to increase it today? Tell them.
Today, just post. You just gotta post, stay consistent. You got all eyes on you right now. So just, everybody wanna know what y'all about to do, who y'all are, who everything is. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make y'all the most famous people walking this planet. But you gotta win.
Let me give you an example. Bucky, poster. I'm cutting. When I say 1, 2, 3, you say I'm cutting. You put it out right now. 1, 2, 3. I'm coming. That was a little weak. I don't know about to do that. What?
There he comes right.
That was a little weak.
What's up with
When I
this
say,
dude?
I'm coming. Like I'm coming. All right? Finish me, all right?
Yeah.
He thinking some old, you know what stuff. 1, 2, 3. I'm coming. That's it. That's all we got.
How you end your Q&A is most important. Remember, the audience's attention is highest at the beginning and at the end of any section of a speech. So end with what you want your audience to remember. And even better, get your audience to say your core message so that it really sticks with them. Now, it can be hard to remember all of these public speaking tips and put them into practice when you're delivering your next speech or trying to motivate your team. So subscribe to my newsletter at prestonchin.substack.com where you can get more weekly tips on how to improve your confidence, charisma, and communication to maximize your impact at work. Now, if you like this breakdown, watch part 1 of my breakdown of Deion's speech right here. Thanks for subscribing.